Ready to make a real impact every day? Join the Active Day Home Care team and help clients maintain their independence in the comfort of their own homes. Make a difference in someone's life as you provide essential daily assistance and protect their health and happiness. Earn up to $20 an hour and enjoy additional perks like optional daily pay, 401k, paid time off, ongoing educational training, and more. Join a team that values care, compassion, and your professional growth. Visit activeday.com to apply.
Hey everyone, welcome back. We're diving into a matchup today that may not seem like the most exciting one on paper.
Right.
The New York Giants versus the Carolina Panthers.
Right.
Now you might be thinking, two rebuilding teams, why should I even care?
Exactly.
But trust me on this one.
Okay.
There are some layers here that I think are going to make this a really interesting game to watch.
Absolutely. What makes this game so fascinating to me is it's a real clash of styles.
Oh, interesting.
You got the Giants, a team obviously steeped in tradition, trying to revive that old-school defense-first approach.
Right.
And then you have the Panthers,
Yeah.
who are all about building a modern dynamic offense around their young quarterback.
Okay.
So it's not just about a win here.
Right.
It's about proving which blueprint for success is really going to work
Yeah.
in today's NFL.
So let's break down what each team brings to the table.
Okay.
On one side, we've got the Giants, a team that historically has built its reputation on a rock-solid defense. Yeah.
And a powerful running game.
Exactly. Think back to those legendary Giants teams. You know,
Oh, yeah.
tough, gritty,
Yeah.
able to just control the clock.
Right.
That's what they're trying to recapture this season. And their defense has shown glimpses of that old dominance,
Okay.
keeping them in games even when the offense sputters a little bit.
Yeah, and that's been their Achilles heel, right?
You got it.
They've had moments of brilliance, but turning those moments into points has been a struggle for them.
You hit the nail on the head. They've especially struggled in the red zone, which is just football speak, for that critical area close to the end zone where you absolutely need to convert those drives into touchdowns.
Yeah.
And that's where this matchup gets really interesting.
Okay.
Because the Panthers' defense, while improved, is still a bit of a work in progress.
So the Giants might actually have a chance to exploit that weakness and get their offense rolling.
Potentially. But don't expect the Panthers to just roll over.
Right. They've shown significant improvement on offense this season,
Okay.
especially with their young quarterback starting to find his groove. And they've got a stable of running backs that can really wear down a defense.
Which makes me think about the Giants' defensive game plan.
Yeah.
Are they going to be able to contain that multifaceted rushing attack?
That's going to be key for them.
Yeah.
If they can shut down the Panthers' run game,
Okay.
it'll force their young quarterback to make plays under pressure against the Giants' defense that loves to bring the heat.
Okay, hold on. Back up a second.
Sure.
You mentioned the Giants bringing the heat.
Yeah.
For those of us who aren't fluent in football jargon, what exactly does that mean?
Ah, good point.
Yeah.
When I say bring the heat, I'm talking about blitzes.
Okay.
A blitz is when the defense sends extra players beyond the usual four-down linemen to rush the quarterback. It's all about creating chaos and confusion,
Right.
trying to force him into making a bad decision or throwing an interception.
So for the Panthers quarterback, this is a real trial by fire.
Exactly.
And not only does he have to deal with the pressure of leading a young team,
Right.
he's also going up against one of the most aggressive defenses in the league.
Precisely. And that's why this quarterback battle
Yeah.
is one of the most compelling aspects of this matchup for me.
Interesting.
You've got the seasoned Giants quarterback who's seen it all and done it all going up against this up-and-coming Panthers quarterback
Yeah.
who's still trying to establish himself.
Right.
It's experience versus potential playing out on the biggest stage.
And the outcome of that quarterback duel could very well determine the outcome of the game, right?
Absolutely. But let's not forget about the other key matchups that could swing this game in either direction,
Okay.
especially when we look at the running backs on both sides.
Yeah. Let's talk about that.
Okay.
We know the Giants want to establish their run game. But can their star running back find room to run against the Panthers' defensive front?
That's a big question mark.
Yeah.
The Panthers have been focusing on limiting big plays in the run game, but they've also shown some vulnerability to those consistent, hard-nosed running backs.
Which is exactly what the Giants running back brings to the table.
Right.
He's not flashy,
Yeah.
but he is incredibly tough to bring down and always seems to grind out those extra yards.
And that's where the chess match between the coaching staffs comes into play.
Oh, yeah.
The Giants coach knows that his running back is the key to controlling the tempo of this game.
Okay.
If he can get him going early, it sets up everything else they want to do on offense.
Right.
Especially those play-action passes that can catch a defense off guard.
Wait, play action?
Yeah.
You're going to have to break that one down for me, too.
Of course. A play-action pass is basically a trick play where this quarterback pretends to hand the ball off to the running back, but then pulls it back and throws a pass downfield.
Okay.
The idea is to fool the defense into thinking it's a run play, which can open up passing lanes for the receivers.
So the Giants are hoping to use their running game as a smokescreen to set up big plays in the passing game. That's pretty sneaky. But the Panthers are probably aware of that strategy, right?
They definitely are.
Okay.
And that's why their game plan is likely going to revolve around disrupting the Giants' rhythm, forcing them into passing situations, and trying to get their young quarterback rattled.
It's a classic clash of styles.
It is.
Power versus speed,
Yes.
experience versus youth.
Absolutely.
And that's what makes this matchup so exciting, right?
You got it.
We've got two teams with contrasting identities battling it out to prove their vision for success.
I think beyond just the X's and O's, there's a psychological element to this game as well.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
For the Giants, a win would be a huge confidence boost, a sign that their old-school approach can still work in today's NFL.
And for the Panthers, a win would be a statement to the league that their young core is ready to compete right now,
Exactly.
not just in the future.
So as we head into the next part of our deep dive,
Okay.
think about this.
All right.
What does winning actually look like for these two teams?
Interesting question.
Is it just about the final score? Or is there something more at stake here? We'll dive into that and more when we come back.
Sounds good. It's funny you should ask that because I was just thinking about that.
Yeah.
How much emphasis we put on wins and losses, especially when we're talking about these rebuilding teams. It feels like we're always just looking for those immediate results, that instant gratification.
Absolutely.
Right.
And it makes sense to a certain degree, right?
Yeah.
Fans want to see their team succeed.
Sure.
And wins are the most tangible measure of that.
Yeah.
But I think there's a danger in focusing solely on that win-loss column.
Yeah.
Especially when you're talking about a team that's still trying to find its identity.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I think sometimes we forget about that bigger picture. Exact development of young players.
Yeah.
The establishment of a winning culture. You know, all of those less visible but equally crucial elements that go into building a championship contender.
That's what makes this Giants-Panthers matchup so intriguing. You're seeing two teams, both in the midst of a rebuild, navigating that tension between short-term success and long-term sustainability.
For the Giants, a win would be a validation of their approach, right?
Exactly.
A sign that their veteran leadership and their commitment to that strong defense can still lead to victories in today's pass-happy NFL.
For sure.
It would definitely be a boost for their morale, show the players and the fans that they're on the right track. But what about the Panthers? What does a win mean for them?
For the Panthers, a win would be a declaration that their young core is ready to compete now, not just in some distant future.
Not just a potential team.
Exactly.
Right.
It would signify that investment in their young quarterback and their focus on building this dynamic, multifaceted offense is paying off.
It would almost be like a coming out party for them, a chance to announce to the league that they're a force to be reckoned with.
Absolutely.
And speaking of the Panthers offense, I'm really curious to see how their wide receivers match up against the Giants secondary.
That's a matchup you'll definitely want to keep an eye on.
Okay.
The Panthers have a couple of young, explosive receivers that can really stretch the field.
Okay.
They're going to be a real test for the Giants' defensive backs, who've been solid, but not unbeatable.
So there's definitely potential for some big plays there.
Yeah.
But on the flip side,
okay,
how do you think the Giants' receivers stack up against the Panthers' secondary?
That's a bit of a wild card, honestly.
Oh, okay.
The Giants' receiving core has been a little inconsistent this season.
Yeah.
Capable of making spectacular catches one minute and then dropping easy passes the next.
Right. They'll need to step up their game if they want to keep pace with the Panthers' high-powered offense.
Right.
It sounds like a lot is riding on the performance of the quarterbacks and the skill players.
Yeah, sure.
But I think we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about the coaching battle as well.
Absolutely. The chess match between the coaches is often just as compelling as the action on the field.
Oh, yeah.
And in this game, we have two coaches with very distinct styles.
Okay.
The Giants coach is known for his old-school, disciplined approach, while the Panthers coach is a bit more of a risk-taker.
Okay.
Always looking for creative ways to gain an advantage.
So you think we'll see a contrast in game plans?
I think that's a pretty safe bet.
Okay.
The Giants coach loves to control the clock and wear down opponents.
Right.
While the Panthers coach is all about speed and explosiveness.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see which style prevails.
Yeah.
Or if maybe there's a way for both teams to find success within their own comfort zones.
It's funny how a single football game can become a microcosm of so many larger themes.
Yeah.
The clash of generations. The evolution of strategies, the constant pursuit of innovation within a framework of tradition.
That's what I love about this sport.
Yeah.
It's never just about the X's and O's.
Right.
It's about the stories, the narratives, the human drama that unfolds on the field.
And this Giants-Panthers game is no exception.
It's a story of two teams, both hungry for success, trying to carve out their own path in a league that's constantly changing.
And for the fans, it's an opportunity to witness that struggle, to see the determination, the resilience, the flashes of brilliance that make these players and these teams so captivating.
So as you watch this game, I want you to pay attention to the little things.
Right.
Look for those moments of individual brilliance, those subtle adjustments by the coaches, those plays that might not show up in the box score, but reveal the heart and soul of these two teams.
Because those are the building blocks of a successful franchise.
Exactly. Those are the elements that create a winning culture, a legacy that extends far beyond a single win or loss.
It's like we're watching two different blueprints for success play out in real time. You know?
Yeah.
On one hand, you got the Giants.
Yeah.
They're relying on that classic formula.
Right.
Strong defense, powerful run game, and a quarterback who knows how to manage the game.
It's a strategy that's brought them championships in the past.
Right.
And, you know, they're betting that it can still be effective in today's NFL.
But then you have the Panthers,
right,
who are embracing a more modern, high-octane offense built around a young, dynamic quarterback and a receiving core that can just light up the scoreboard.
Yeah, it's almost like a generational clash, right?
It is.
The old guard versus the new wave.
Yeah.
And it makes you wonder, what does the future of football look like?
Right. Is it going to be a return to those hard-nosed defensive battles?
Yeah.
Or will it be dominated by these explosive, pass-heavy offenses?
That's the million-dollar question.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's an easy answer.
Right.
The game's constantly evolving. Teams are always searching for that edge, you know, that winning formula.
That's what makes this matchup so fascinating, though.
It does.
Because it highlights that tension between those two approaches.
I got it.
It's like we're watching a battle for the soul of the sport played out on a single Sunday afternoon.
And while the final score will tell us who won this particular battle,
right,
that larger question of which approach will ultimately prevail, that remains unanswered.
And that's what makes this game so much more than just a contest between two teams, right?
It is.
It's a glimpse into the future of football.
Yeah.
A microcosm of the strategic and philosophical debates that are shaping the game as we know it.
So as you settle in to watch this game,
I
encourage you to look beyond just the score.
Yeah.
Pay attention to those little things.
Okay.
The individual battles within the larger war. Watch how the quarterbacks handle the pressure.
Yeah.
How the running backs fight for every yard.
Right.
How the coaches adjust their strategies in response to the ebb and flow of the game.
Because it's in those details, right?
Exactly.
Those subtle shifts in momentum that you can really appreciate. The beauty and complexity of this sport.
You'll see the chess match unfold between the coaches.
Yeah.
The calculated risks, the desperate gambles.
Right.
The moments of brilliance that can turn the tide in an instant.
And you'll gain a deeper understanding of what it takes to build a winning team.
Absolutely.
Whether it's through grit and determination or through speed and innovation.
You know, maybe, just maybe, you'll come away with a new appreciation for the enduring legacy of this game. A game that continues to captivate and inspire us. With its blend of power strategy and human drama.
This deep dive has been a blast.
It has.
Thanks for joining me. I'm breaking it all down.
The pleasure was all mine.
Always a great time talking football.
Absolutely.
Especially when it's a matchup as intriguing as this one.
Sure.
And to all of you listening out there, We hope this deep dive has given you a new perspective on this Giants-Panthers game.
Remember, there's always more to the story than just the final score.
Mm.
Look deeper.
Yeah.
Ask questions.
Absolutely.
And enjoy the ride.
Keep those questions coming.
Yes.
And we'll see you on our next deep dive.
Sounds good.
Today is your lucky day. Today is the day that our $3 website works for you, paying you directly to your PayPal daily. Imagine $3 ongoing continuous payments to your PayPal account. Imagine falling asleep and waking up to $300 in your PayPal account. How would this make you feel? How could this help you? What bills could you pay? What kind of fun could you have? What does that retirement look like now? All for a one-time payment of $3. This website is DFY done for you, fully built and completely hosted, and never stops collecting payments for you. You have spent $3 on coffee on a regular, but that coffee won't help you create multiple streams of income. Click the link below.